What do you mean by that? What do you know? What do you know? What did you just walk into? You tell us what you know right now.
No, I mean, come on. There's obviously a lot going on behind the scenes. I think that's pretty evident. Like, I don't think you have to be a crack reporter to figure that out.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, I just think that there's a lot.
It's happening. The mask is slipping and Cleveland can't hide it anymore. The truth about what's been going on behind those locker room doors is finally leaking out, and it's uglier than anyone thought. For weeks, fans could feel something wasn't right. The tension, the weird silence, the sudden excuses, now it's obvious. The Browns have been running a behind-the-scenes campaign to make sure Shedeur Sanders never even gets the chance to shine this season. Every move, every quote, every carefully worded update was part of a setup, all to protect the team's image while quietly killing the kid's momentum before it could even start. And the wildest part? Jason didn't even have to say it outright for everyone to catch on. The moment he dropped, "There's a lot going on behind the scenes," that was it. Fans knew the smoke meant fire. You could feel it in the air. Something's rotten in Cleveland, and it's not the weather. There's a calculated plan at play here, a silent operation to keep Shedeur on the bench, no matter how good he looks in practice, no matter how much energy he brings. The dude's got it all. The poise, the arm, the hunger, and somehow he's still being treated like a backup to the backups? So what's Stefanski's deal? Why keep pretending not to see what's right in front of him? Is he afraid that Shedeur will step in and make him look like he's been holding the team back all along? Maybe he's scared that once Shedeur gets a real shot, everyone will realize the coach's so-called system is just smoke and mirrors. Let's be real. These moves don't look random. The play calls that make no sense, the convenient injury updates, the bizarre quarterback rotations, it all feels planned.
This is something that we all known that has been happening, and it's obvious that it has been happening. That is a lot of moving pieces going on behind the scenes, potentially blocking Shedeur Sanders from playing and pretty much hindering him making an appearance behind center. Now, with that being said, Kevin Stefanski let it be known that Dylan Gabriel will be up under center.
Like someone at the top is choreographing every step to protect their own reputation while sabotaging the guy who could actually change the game. And honestly, that's the worst part. It's not just about bad coaching anymore. It's about control, image, and ego. And when that ego finally cracks, it's gonna blow up louder than any stadium crowd Cleveland's ever heard. They've been running this whole thing like a mind game, twisting the story to make Shedeur look like the problem. Every headline, every leak, every quiet whisper makes it sound like he's too raw, too cocky, or not ready yet. That's the dirtiest part of all this, the manipulation. Instead of letting the man prove himself, Stefanski's been stacking excuses like bricks, building a wall around him while hiding behind his so-called strategy and timing. But come on, the fans aren't buying it anymore. People see it. They hear what Jason hinted at, and they know something shady's brewing in that building. How long does Stefanski think he can run this little magic trick before the whole illusion crashes down? You can only bury talent for so long before it bursts through the surface, and when it does, it's gonna be messy. The truth has a way of catching up, and when it doesn't knock politely. It kicks the door down. Everyone knows Shedeur's got that spark, that potential to flip this team's story overnight. He's got the vision, the leadership, the presence, everything Cleveland's been begging for. Yet somehow, the one man calling the shots seems determined to pretend he doesn't exist. Maybe Stefanski's pride can't handle another man in the room with real charisma. Maybe he's terrified that once Shedeur steps on that field, people will realize who's really been holding this team back. But here's the truth bomb. Burying Shedeur won't protect Stefanski's rep. It'll destroy it, because when the real story drops, and it will, fans will remember exactly who chained their future star to the bench. This is what everyone's been shouting for weeks, and now it's spilling into the open. A full-blown setup, quiet moves, calculated timing, all designed to keep Shedeur Sanders from touching that field even once. Let's get one thing straight. This has nothing to do with talent. Everybody knows Shedeur's got more natural skill, composure, and leadership than half that roster combined. What's really going on here is about control, ego, and politics. The Browns front office doesn't want a young star stepping in and shaking their system to the core. They don't want someone who might outshine their veterans or worse, make the coaching staff look replaceable. And now, with the announcement that Dillon Gabriel will be starting under center, it's basically confirmation of what fans already suspected. This was never about competition. It was always about keeping power in the same hands.
I'm not.
Well, here's why. Hold on, Jason. He is somebody, I think it's very cool that he'll go to these high schools. He's gone to some local colleges. You see him kind of throwing with guys. I don't even know if that constitutes extra work, but, he's been out in the community. I think he's been, showing off Cleveland.
Now, that's something I spoke about. Was Shedeur actually going to the hood? Tell the truth. He going to the hood and he going to the trenches and he giving love and showing back. We didn't see Deshaun Watson go to the trenches. We don't see nobody going to the trenches. Tell the truth. Hell, y'all ain't ever probably even been to the trenches, bruh. Shedeur is doing things that they probably don't approve of. But do he care? No. Because you want to know why? Because every little kid that pull up to the high school, every little kid that pull up to that school, he going to change their life. He impacting their life. That's a memory that's going to last with them for a lifetime.
The whole thing screams fear. Stefanski's holding tight to his comfort zone like it's a life raft, choosing what feels safe instead of what could actually win games. Fans can see it plain as day. They're watching a quarterback with game-changing potential get buried alive under politics, not performance. He's not being benched because he can't play. He's being benched because some people in that building don't want him to play. And now the media's trying to spin it again, talking about Shedeur throwing with guys like it's just some light PR thing. Please, that's not what this is about. He's not out there for a photo op. He's out there grinding, connecting, and showing up for the people who actually have his back. This man's building bonds, real ones, in places the rest of the team wouldn't even show up to. Anthony can try to downplay it all he wants, but anyone with eyes can see the truth. This isn't about routine community outreach. It's about heart, authenticity, and leadership that can't be faked. Shedeur doesn't need the cameras. He's doing this because he means it. That's the difference between someone pretending to lead and someone born to lead. While some players sit cozy in their million-dollar bubbles, Shedeur's out there in the real Cleveland. Not the shiny downtown version they show on TV, but the side that grinds, bleeds, and pushes through every single day. John hit the nail on the head. Shedeur's in the trenches doing what no one else dares to do. He's not scared to walk the same streets as the fans who cheer for him, not afraid to step out of his comfort zone and actually feel the heartbeat of the city. That's courage, and that's authenticity. You don't see Deshaun Watson strolling through those blocks without cameras. You don't see half that roster showing up without PR handlers and photographers trailing behind. But Shedeur, he's there. Hood up, sleeves rolled, shaking hands, laughing with kids, and leaving a mark that'll last way beyond football highlights.
Don't run away with this. I'm just saying, like, the fact that he's as high profile as he is, that they take him where they take him, that there's been this jostling of him on the depth chart. Now there's this back injury. Like, there's just a lot of noise, and that's part of the Shedeur experience. There's just a lot of noise all the time.
He's not showing up for attention. He's showing up because he cares. That's what real connection looks like. Raw, unfiltered, and powerful. And maybe that's why some folks behind the scenes are nervous, because what Shedeur is doing can't be controlled or scripted. It's real, and it reminds everyone what true influence looks like, something no marketing campaign or press conference can fake, and that scares them. While the higher-ups play politics, Shedeur's earning his stripes the honest way, from the streets up, not the office down. That's how you build loyalty. That's how you win hearts. And now people are starting to ask the right questions. Why is Anthony trying to downplay this like it's nothing? Why does it make them so uncomfortable to see Shedeur connecting with real people? Why is Stefanski okay with distance but suddenly twitchy when one player actually cares? Since when did genuine community love become a problem instead of a blessing? Why are they so scared of Shedeur's influence beyond the field? Why are they so desperate to squeeze him into their stiff little system instead of letting him shine his own way? Why does it take a young man like Shedeur to remind an entire organization what real leadership even looks like? Every time he does something positive, somebody inside that building finds a way to twist it, turn it into drama, label it a distraction, anything to dim his light. Why can't they just admit the truth?
Do guys with back injuries typically fly across the country when they're rehabbing?
Wow, dude's an ass.
That's what I'm saying.
That struck me as odd. I got to be honest. I don't hear a lot of that. Normally, that's not an ideal situation.
Well, it was good for him to get away. It was good for him to go see his family.
That Shedeur's genuine heart for the people is exactly what this city's been craving for years. That right there is the real issue. They keep calling it noise, but that's just their lazy way of dodging the truth. What's really happening is a game of pressure politics, suits and staff trying to control a player who refuses to play by their script. Jason wasn't exaggerating when he said there's been jostling on the depth chart. That wasn't just a small detail. That was a warning. One day he's moving up, the next he's bumped back down, and then, out of nowhere, there's talk of a mysterious back injury. Convenient, right? It's the same tired routine we've seen 100 times before. Confuse the fans, feed the media a few vague updates, and call everything team business. They want to create smoke so no one sees the real fire burning underneath. But fans aren't blind anymore. We see it. Every time Shedeur starts to build momentum, something magically pops up to slow him down. A rumor, an injury, a coaching decision, every single time. And here's the truth.
A struggle for him just in terms of how he thought his NFL career was going to go a year ago at this time and how it's actually gone. If guys are really hurt, usually they keep them at the facility to rehab. I shouldn't say usually.
This isn't about performance or preparation. It's about power. Because Shedeur's presence alone shakes that locker room to its core. He brings energy, spotlight, and confidence that can't be controlled, and that terrifies the people in charge. Instead of embracing it, they're scrambling to contain it. They're trying to bury his rise under layers of distractions, whispers, and updates that sound professional but smell like panic. But here's what they don't get. You can only silence a voice like Shedeur's for so long before it breaks through the noise completely. Because what they call noise is actually the sound of a movement waking up. Fans, teammates, and a city that's realizing the truth. And when that roar finally hits, Cleveland's front office won't be able to hide behind excuses anymore. Anthony just couldn't hide it. That smirk said everything. You could see the jealousy dripping before he even finished his fake concerned sentence. The man wasn't talking football, he was talking envy. You could tell he hates seeing Shedeur glowing up, doing well, moving smooth, staying calm while everyone else around him's cracking under pressure. He tried to disguise it like a football discussion, like he was just asking questions about rehab or focus. But come on, we all know better. That wasn't analysis, that was bitterness with a mic. And then came the line that gave it all away. Do guys with back injuries typically fly across the country? Bro, why do you care? You think Shedeur needs your permission to board a jet? The man's rehabbing, traveling, and minding his business, not auditioning for your approval. Anthony's not worried about Shedeur's health, he's worried about his shine. He sees a young player moving like a star because he is one, and it eats him alive. What really bugs him isn't the flight, it's the lifestyle. Shedeur's moving private, quiet, and confident, and that's the combo that drives jealous folks wild. He's not bragging, not flashing, not chasing clout. He's just living well, staying focused, and doing it with a calm that screams control. That's what real power looks like. And yes, let's clear it up. Shedeur did fly private, and that's exactly what's twisting Anthony's nerves. It's that cool, untouchable energy that gets under people's skin. The kind that says, I don't need your validation, I've got my own lane. Meanwhile, Anthony and his little crew sit around smirking and whispering like it's a high school hallway. While they gossip, Shedeur's out here recharging with family, staying grounded and coming back sharper than before. That's what professionals do. They move smart, not loud. It's not his fault he's got options. It's just a fact that some folks can't handle when someone doesn't fit their mold, especially when that someone's living proof that class, talent, and peace always outshine petty jealousy. When someone's too smooth, too talented, and too unbothered to play by their little game, jealousy starts creeping out, and they can't even hide it. They throw shade, mask it as concern, and dress it up as professionalism. But come on, everyone saw that look on Anthony's face. That smirk said more than any statement ever could. It screamed, "I wish I was him." And that right there is the kind of envy you can't fake away. No rehab excuse, no team statement, no polite smile can cover that up. This past year has been a storm for Shedeur. Nothing like the dream he pictured when he first stepped into the league. He came in ready to make noise, ready to change the game, but instead, he's had to fight through layers of politics, pressure, and straight-up power plays. From the hype of draft day to the frustration of watching others get chances he earned, this journey has tested him in every possible way. And now, with the so-called injury situation, it's like the weight just keeps piling on. Normally, when a player's hurt, they stay close to the team. Trainers, doctors, constant monitoring, but not this time. This feels different. Sometimes, a player just needs space, not because he's given up, but because he's trying to find peace in the middle of chaos. That's exactly where Shedeur stands right now, caught in that space between pressure and patience, where every move he makes is watched, every word he says gets twisted, and every step becomes a headline. And now looking back, it all starts to make perfect sense. The awkward press conferences, the random updates, the sudden injury rumors, it's all part of the same pattern. Something's been off behind the scenes and it's finally becoming clear. There's been a quiet effort from inside to slow Shedeur's rise before it takes over the whole show. Kevin Stefanski and the Browns can't play innocent forever. Not when the pieces fit this perfectly. The timing, the leaks, the politics, it all adds up. Whatever's been going on behind those closed doors, it's about to blow wide open. So let's talk about it. What do you think is really happening behind the scenes with Shedeur Sanders? Is this about leadership, ego, or something way deeper? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear every theory. And make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications because this story is only getting hotter. See you on the next one.